King Charles has been tipped to ignore the Duke and Duchess of Sussex in his first ever Christmas broadcast. Royal experts agree it is unlikely the new monarch will dedicate any words, if any at all, to his second son and daughter-in-law in his historic speech. In a comment piece written for the Daily Express, royal author Phil Dampier said, "Charles will thank his wife Queen Consort Camilla and the Prince and Princess of Wales for their support. He will offer an olive branch to Harry and Meghan by not directly criticising them." Royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams categorically excluded the possibility Prince Harry and Meghan will be featured in the speech. He told iNews, "All the indications are the palace would prefer to ride the current crisis, for that is what it must be called, out without any statement of any sort." Similarly, Jeremy Archer, historian and author of a book looking into the Christmas broadcasts between the 20th and 21st centuries titled A Royal Christmas, said, "There will be no indication whatsoever of any family politics or any other shenanigans going on at the moment. He will want to present the message of a family pulling together in grief." If Charles did decide to speak about Harry and Meghan, Mr. Archer added, he will only make a broad brush mention. He continued, "People will be looking at these words. It will be vanilla in respect of them. It will be as vanilla as it can be." Commentator Jonathan Sasardotti had previously told Express. Co.uk the King may mention tomorrow some members of his family in the same manner as he did in his first national address as monarch on September 9. He said, "I think that the King will almost likely mention his family and specific members of his family in terms of his feelings towards them where they are working royals. In this case, he may comment on their work as he did in that address after the Queen died, where he mentioned William more than he mentioned Harry, which I think is reasonable as the Duke chose to leave the working family and indeed the country, so that was respectful of his wishes in that respect." While on his first national address as head of state he spoke about Prince William and Kate's new titles and work, Charles simply said of the Sussexes, "I want also to express my love for Harry and Meghan as they continue to build their lives overseas." King Charles recorded his Christmas speech, the first broadcast by a king to be televised in British history, on December 13, 2 days before the second half of the Netflix documentary Harry and Meghan was released. Breaking with tradition, he didn't film the speech in one of his residences but, rather, inside St. George's Chapel. This has led commentators to believe the monarch's speech will be heavily focused on his late mother Queen Elizabeth II, who is buried in the George VI Memorial Chapel near the church's choir. Mr. Dampier wrote, "I've no doubt the late Queen will be at the centre of King Charles' eagerly awaited first Christmas address to the nation at 3 p.m. tomorrow. He will want to pay tribute to his darling mama and her extraordinary 70-year reign, as well as his father Prince Philip who died in April last year." Explaining to Express.co. UK how significant the decision to film the speech in the Windsor Chapel is, Mr. Fitzwilliams said on Friday, "The Queen was very fond of Windsor, which is the world's oldest and largest occupied palace and dates back over 1,000 years. She spent the war years there. As Queen she spent most weekends there. She held Easter court there for a month each year and Royal Ascot was the first date in her diary every year. She and Prince Philip spent lockdown there. It is therefore only fitting that this historic broadcast, the first of his reign, will be made from Windsor." Mr. Fitzwilliams added the speech may also touch upon the topic of the environment and sustainability, issues very close to the monarch, and the Prince of Wales Earthshot Prize initiative. The King's Christmas broadcast will be televised on Christmas Day at 3 p.m.